Hello, good day, good day. It is Wednesday. If you're listening to this live, August the 9th, 2017. What a wonderful day it is. I am Natalie Gray Warren. I am the leader and founder of the Whole Woman Experience, a transformational coach and speaker and author, and also a licensed professional counselor. Welcome to the talks. I'm going to pause for a moment because I want to see if we can get some more viewers on this live, as well as inviting others into this live. If you are listening to the replay, I'd ask that you'll go ahead and start to share this broadcast so that others can hear this information. Welcome again to the talks, where we are talking about life kept secrets. So I'm going to go ahead and get on to my other pages that are connected to this so that we can get other people involved. I want to get us engaged. I love the engagement that we have with the Whole Woman Experience and being able to invite others to join us in that. So we're going to do something different today. We've been shifting and talking about some things that are getting in the way of you living in your fullest potential, which is something I enjoy doing as I work with women, and also you being able to go and connect with yourself, the woman that you were created to be. And so we're going to shift a little today, and I'm going to teach you some very fun and practical steps that you can take, simple and practical steps you can take in order for you to create your own whole woman experience. How neat is that? That you have the ability to create your own whole woman experience. If you are joining live, if you would go ahead and tell me that you are live, you are on here so that we can engage in some conversation around this. So the question is that I would ask is, what are your thoughts about how you could create your own whole woman experience? Let me finish this message. I'm doing two things at one time, and sometimes that means that I don't do it well. Maybe that's you, right? We try to multitask as women. We think we do it very well. What I've found out is sometimes things go missing or lacking. But what are your thoughts about creating your own whole woman experience? I wanted to hear your thoughts, so go ahead and share them in the comments. And so I want to give you 5 keys that you can use, that you can implement in your own life to create your very own whole woman experience. So the first key is wholeness. And that is really the basis of the whole woman experience. The idea that you are a whole woman. You were created that way. At the core of who you are whole, you are good, you are enough, you are worthy. That is who you are, a whole woman. And understanding and building off of that foundation and that principle will lead you into the other 4 keys into creating your own experience. Thank you, Monica and Barbara, that have joined us today. And so the first key is wholeness. Here's the thing. Sometimes we believe we have this idea, this belief that we are broken. And I often like to challenge that idea to say, you're not broken. There are just parts of you that you haven't discovered. That you are not broken, but there are parts of you that you haven't discovered. And I believe that's what life is really about. It's a journey of discovery and finding out who you are. And as the whole women experience, it also introduced you, is about finding out whose you are. And that was my journey. I remember days me praying to God, saying, God, show me who I am in you. Show me who I am in you and who you are. And I believe he's continuing to answer that prayer and showing me who I am in him and who he is. And being able to know that at the core of who I am whole. That's where we start. And that you're worthy and your worth is not contingent upon anything. That it can't be given and it can't be taken away. And that you are 100% worthy at all times. I love that idea because that then sets the foundation for the next 4 keys that I want to share with you. So as you find out who you are, which is identity, right? You move next into alignment. Key number 2, creating your own whole woman experience is about alignment. And alignment looks like you aligning with that belief that I just gave you about the woman that you already are. And aligning your thoughts with that, aligning your behaviors with that, aligning your feelings with that, that you can move into creating your own whole woman experience. Yes, Monica, you are 100% worthy at all times. It can't be given to you and it can't be taken away. I love it. I love it. And so the other thing about it is as you are aligning yourself right? With your thoughts, right? Making sure that they are aligned with the woman that you were created to be. You're then able to move into the third key of creating your own experience is getting rid of the fear, the guilt, the shame, the mistakes, the things that are holding you hostage, right? There's internal limitations that are getting in the way, that are causing you to believe contrary to what God has said about you. And it's about releasing that stuff and letting it go. Think about it in your own life. How many times have you allowed one or several of those things to get in the way? I know I have. I have allowed fear or shame or guilt or blame or worry or anxiety or stress, all of these things to pull me out of alignment with who God says I am and who He created for me to be, and thus not being able to create my own whole woman experience. And so you can do the same and being mindful of it. Sometimes it really starts with just monitoring your thoughts. Do you know that we have about 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day? Wow. You probably lost count. I know I would have probably at the first 50 or 60 because we're moving so quickly each day. But you have that many thoughts a day. And so if we are intentional with slowing down, which is one of the things I really want you to do as we're moving into the retreat that we'll have in October, really slowing down and being intentional with our thoughts and pulling away from the distractions and the noise that constantly pulls at us. It helps us to be more intentional. And I am delighted about even inviting you. If you're not already planning to come, you are going to love being able to do this with other women who are doing the same. And so alignment will put you in a place to experience freedom. And that's the freedom that I have been given as I've done my own work that I want to share with every woman that I encounter, that there is a freedom that you can experience. Thank you, Barbara. She's sharing being allowed to admit my feelings helps. Absolutely. We have to be true with ourselves. And sometimes we're not truthful with ourselves. We're not honest with how we really are doing. You know, we do this often. Someone says, "How are you doing?" And the first thing that comes to our minds is, "I'm good," or "I'm okay." And sometimes we're not. Sometimes we need to say that I am not okay, and that is okay. And that puts us in a position to be in alignment so that we can ultimately experience freedom. Monica is sharing, that's why I'm here. Learning how to slow down and be intentional is important to me this year. It absolutely is. I have found and I continue to be even mindful in my own life. Let me give you an example. I heard this and I thought it was very applicable. It says that the reason why many of us are impatient is that we are living in another moment. I'll repeat that. The reason that many of us are impatient, you know how you're in traffic and you're impatient, or you're impatient with the child, or you're impatient in the grocery store. But the reason why many of us are impatient is because we're living in another moment. We're trying to figure out how we're going to get to the next place, or we're going to accomplish the next thing, or we're going to be doing this, right? And we don't often slow down. And so I've been really, even this week, been intentional with slowing down while I'm driving. We don't even slow down. Let me give you another example. We don't even slow down when we're eating. Think about when you eat a meal. Do you really slow down long enough to taste the food, or even hear the crunch of the food, or enjoy all of the flavors that you took so long to put into the food to really enjoy it? We really don't slow down enough to do that. And I really want us to be intentional, which is why I have really shifted the experience, the retreat this year, to make sure that we do that. So we're on key number 4. Number 4 is once you're in alignment and you're experiencing freedom, there is a creativity that's going to come through you. Yes, you are creative. Sometimes I think we don't believe that, but I have a belief that if we were made by a creator and we are his creation, then we have to be creative. Do you get that? If we are made by a creator, we are his creation, then we have to be creative. It is our innate ability to be creative. And I think sometimes many of these other things are blocking us from experience creativity. And what you will find, if you're not operating in your creativity, I have seen it many times over, you will live in frustration, you will live in disconnection, you will live in unsatisfaction and unfulfillment. You won't even know what's going on, but you'll just have this longing this yearning of something that I'm missing, that I need to be doing, that I haven't tapped into. And it will look like frustration, irritability. It will look like disconnection, and it will look like unsatisfaction. And oftentimes I'll say to you, as that person that I'm working with, I'll say, are you tapping into your creative self and your creative abilities? What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you smile? Because that's what God has given you. And Barbara is sharing exactly where I am, being intentional. I'm excited about the retreat, and I'm excited about having you there. And so we're talking about creativity, which will come up for you once you are in alignment and you are free from stuff. Now, here's the key, and this is the fifth key of creating your very own whole woman experience, is that you then will open up possibilities. Possibilities, not probabilities, but possibilities. Possibilities that are endless that God has placed in your life for you. Isn't that amazing? And sometimes I think we think that we have exhausted all possibilities. Well, you don't know, Natalie. I've already done this, and I've already thought this, and I've already had this happen. I don't need to know that, because here's a quote that I really, really love that speaks to me, and it says, when you think you have exhausted all possibilities, you haven't. You haven't. That God has many, 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 many more possibilities for your life. And I believe that you are pregnant with possibilities. I'll tell you how I know this. You ever have an idea or a dream or desire that is from God, right? And it keeps coming back up for you. It won't let you go. It just will come back. You'll move on and say, oh, I'm not going to do that, or maybe this isn't for me. You'll talk yourself out of it, which is another webinar that I'm working on to do very soon. It's about how we talk ourselves out of what God has for us. And it keeps coming back for you. And I describe that as a baby that's kicking within you. If you've ever experienced a pregnancy, there's a moment where you feel the first movement of the baby. And then there are moments where occasionally you'll feel a little more movement. And as you're getting closer to birthing the baby, there are many, many movements. And you're actually looking for them, and you can anticipate them, and you can feel them, and sometimes you can see them depending on how active this baby is. And I want you to know that you are pregnant with possibilities. And as you're working on these 5 keys of wholeness, knowing that you are whole, your identity, and you're working towards alignment, aligning yourself, your thoughts with what God says, aligning your soul with God, then you move into freedom from fear, and shame, and guilt, and blame, and disconnection. And then you're able to tap in the creative self, who you are, so that you can have endless possibilities for your life. This is what a whole woman experience this is the whole woman experience that you can create for your very own life. You have the power to do that for yourself. And I'm just delighted that I am able to guide people through that and give them information to help them to do that for themselves. It is my passion to empower women, and not just by me pouring things into them. I am about pulling out of them what's already within them, because I believe that you already have everything you need to be and do everything that God has for you. I am sharing a lot of this with you because it's going in the next book. And you may have already seen the previews for Perfect, Complete, and Lacking Nothing. What every woman needs to know about herself. That you are perfect, complete, and lacking nothing. And that means that you can create your very own whole woman experience. I am Natalie Gray Warren. I am a transformational coach and speaker. I want to make sure I don't have any other questions. I'm looking over the comments because I want to engage more in this conversation. And I want you to share it. There are other women who need to hear this. Sometimes I think that everybody already knows it, but that's not true. There are many women who still need to hear it or rehear it. Because sometimes we've heard this before, and either we're at a different place in our lives and we need to hear it again, or we forgot. We forgot about what we already know. And so my job is to awaken that within you. I am Natalie Gray Warren. I am a transformational coach and speaker. You can get more information about what I do and how I love to serve at www.awakentopower.com. Awaken to the number 2 power.com. You're also welcome to join the tribe of women who show up daily to pour into each other. We encourage each other. We do things in regards to motivation and inspiration, resources that we can share with each other, because I do know when women support each other, incredible things happen. And I want to see those incredible things happen for you. I look forward to seeing you next week on the Talks, where we're talking about life's kept secrets. This is our summer edition. Next Wednesday, we'll be back at 12:30. Or if you really like the 5 o'clock hour, inbox me or send me a message in the comments, and I will look to shift that. Have a wonderful day.